Hello everyone, Mark here, Mark's Max Muscle, and welcome to your Sunday fan request. I just asked you guys in the comment section, or my community section, rather, which matchup you guys wanted to see. And this one here got the most thumbs up, but there was another one, a three-way comparison. I believe by the time I did do the video, that three-way comparison did either match this one or maybe even surpass this one. But anyway, Phil Heath, Big Ramy, 2013. This was Ramy's first Olympia, and this was Phil Heath's perhaps his best Olympia. I mean, Big Ramy all the way down in 8th place, I believe he placed here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he placed 8th. And Phil Heath obviously in 1st. Now, for a novice to the sport, they would look and say, well, the bigger guy's winning, right? He's bigger, he's taller, he's got a bigger head, that's for sure. Well, it's more than just structure, it's quality of the physique, muscle, and you look at the arms, even the arms, Phil Heath, bigger set of arms on a smaller frame. Let's go through the poses, as we cannot judge a bodybuilding competition on a front relaxed position. And you'll notice Big Ramy not quite as polished as he is now in the poses. He's kind of leaning one way, he's kind of looking over the other way, and you know what I'm saying, guys. His legs, they're massive, yes, but they don't have the quality, the deep cuts of Phil Heath. And actually, Phil, in the aesthetics department, he might even be winning. Look at the abs on Phil. This is Phil Heath, keep in mind. Little slight stomach distension if you compare this version with 2011. But I mean, Phil Heath looks like he's Action Jackson in the arm department. Look at that. Maybe not quite as huge as Ramy is, but much more detailed, much better. I think he has got a much better set of arms. Triceps, biceps, forearms, much better forearms. So, it's not all about structure, is it? Now go to the front lat spread. Now, structure is the word here. Take a close look, and Phil probably winning on the conditioning, or here he is. You look at the muscle separation in the arms, and even in the lats. Vascularity, lag development. But structure, Big Ramy here is so good. His small little wee waistline, that really comes into play. And he knows this is his best shot. So if you actually look at his legs here, his legs look better in this shot because he knows this is his shot. He knows. And you should do that with all of your poses. It doesn't matter if it's your good shot or your bad shot, but I mean, compare the legs with this one here for Big Ramy and his front double bi. It's like he wasn't even really flexing in them in the front double. And he means business here. And the quads, I gotta say, they look just as detailed as Phil's. And in the upper body, it's domination. So I think it's a tie game, actually, heading into the side shots. But again, it is quality, it is muscle size. And as Big Ramy does have the superior structure, he's huge, he's monstrous. Phil Heath has the superior muscle. Look at the hanging hamstrings, quads, and the delts. And look at closely here. The thin skin, the chest, the biceps, triceps, and in the forearms. My goodness. You don't usually see the forearm domination, but look at this, guys. This is a muscle man versus an up-and-comer. And that's all Big Ramy was. And this match is not, I'm sure, to see if Big Ramy was defeating Phil. This is more or less to see how far back he was. And he was quite far behind, I'm telling you right now. Side tricep. Keep in mind, guys, this was probably Phil's most massive version as far as his muscle, his limbs are concerned. I mean, he got bigger a little bit later on, but that was his midsection. Maybe his back may have improved, but here, this is prime time Phil Heath. The midsection was in check. The tricep was as big as a house. And look at the lag development. He's dwarfing Big Ramy. And obviously, Big Ramy structurally, bone-wise, he's much bigger. Look at the size of his head. And that's one thing that you could say, Big Ramy does have an advantage here. He can catch Phil, but it's going to take a whole lot of work. And Phil's going to have to really drop the ball. And that's the way it did evolve. Phil didn't improve upon this version. And Big Ramy continued to improve. Anyway, guys, let's look at the back development in this lackluster, I guess you could say. Non-controversial. Definitely non-controversial. Even a novice to the sport could look at this and understand that, yes, structurally speaking, Big Ramy is as wide as a house. He's huge, massive. But detail-wise, muscle for muscle, look at the hamstrings, look at the glutes, and even in the calves, it's domination in that area as well. Big Ramy, though, I gotta say, he is as wide, probably as wide as Jay Cutler or any bodybuilder in bodybuilding history. But Phil, not known for a tremendously wide rear lat spread, but such a complete pose, muscle. Look at the detail in this. Unbelievable. Rear double bicep. And it's basically the same thing here. This is mass, huge width, size, structure versus three-dimensional muscle that just comes at you and it can't be stopped. This rear double bicep of Phil Heath, 2013, not many bodybuilders, maybe Dorian Yates, maybe Ronnie Coleman. Other than that, guys, nobody's touching Phil Heath in this pose. Nobody. Hamstring development, calves, glutes, lower back, lat insertions, traps, everything, arms. Now, Big Ramy, I will say for him, look at the size of his delts. Huge here. Massive set of delts. Unbelievable. But nowhere near as close as Phil Heath in the detail department. Go to the ab and thigh, and this is kind of funny. This is like the world's strongest man competitions. You see the biggest, strongest men, but then they have like a running event. And they're a little out of their element, and you can definitely see that. Big Ramy here, he did develop into a fantastic ab and thigh, I will say. And prior to this, 2011, Phil Heath did have a world-class ab and thigh. But here, I think he's just a little too big to make this pose effective. And as well as Big Ramy, his abs look good. And there was a lot of ab and thigh shots, and his facial expression kind of looks funny in this one as well. But this one was his best bet as far as the ab development is concerned. I'm not going to give anybody a point in this one. Finish off with the most muscular, and they fit right into this pose. They're probably thinking, I'm glad to be out of that ab and thigh and into a nice form-fitting pose like this. But taking nothing away from Ramy's ab and thigh, I mean, years after this, I mean, he had a world class. But enough about that, guys. This is mass. Ramy looks huge here, width, structure. But again, take a look. Take a close look. Arm versus arm. Phil Heath. Some of the biggest guns for his structure, for his size, of any bodybuilder. And having a little tiny head, a little bean head, makes your body look bigger. And Big Ramy, he's not getting any help in that aspect, I'm here to tell you. What a melon! But he did grow into that melon. Got a big head, and he's got a big body as well. I don't think he's beating Phil, though, when you look at the detail. Most muscular crab position. And this one here, I was never a huge fan of Big Ramy's crab position. I figure he should just stick with the other ones where he looks massive, looks good in the hands clasped as well. But I figured we'd end this one with a crab position. Look at the quad on Big Ramy. There is a whole lot of meat on that bone. There's 2-3 feet of meat, of just raw meat. Keep in mind, a femur bone's only so thick. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot of meat, as well as Phil Heath, but nowhere near as much as Big Ramy. Here is your winner, Phil Heath, 2013. Not many bodybuilders, like I said, could ever touch this version of this man. It was Phil Heath domination, PhD. That's why he's the doctor, and he is the doctor. He no longer practices. He lost his license, 2018. Anyway, guys, hit thumbs up on your Sunday fan request. Subscribe to the channel, and have a fantastic day.